At 17, Christine was living a nightmare in Texas. Suffering from alopecia, an autoimmune disease that caused her hair to fall out, she wore wigs to school, hoping to blend in. But blending in wasn't an option. She was a target. Classmates mocked her relentlessly, leaving her feeling isolated, insecure, and desperate for acceptance. Then, in 2002, everything seemed to change. She met Rachel and Tiffany, two popular, confident girls who, unlike everyone else, showed her kindness. They took Christine under their wing. They helped her with her style, her makeup, and most importantly, her confidence. Under their guidance, a new Christine emerged. The bullying stopped. Her social life blossomed. By her senior year, she was no longer the outcast. She was voted Miss Irresistible at a school dance. For the first time, Christine felt like she belonged, all thanks to the friends who saw past her condition and defended her. It was a fairy tale transformation. But this story was not destined for a happy ending. Soon after, Christine met a man named Snyder. He was older, with a troubled past, and their relationship quickly spiraled into a toxic mess of jealousy, arguments, and emotional instability. They were a destructive force, bringing out the absolute worst in each other. By 2003, their life together was falling apart. They were broke and desperate. And in that desperation, Christine's thoughts turned to the very people who had saved her. She convinced herself that her friends, Rachel and Tiffany, must have money or valuables they could take. Together, Christine and Snyder hatched a plan. It wasn't just a robbery. It was a confrontation fueled by a dark and twisted sense of entitlement. They drove to Tiffany's house, where they knew she and Rachel would be. Two other friends were also visiting that day. The four of them had no idea of the horror that was about to unfold. When Christine and Snyder arrived, the friendly facade dropped. Snyder pulled out a weapon, and to everyone's shock, so did Christine. The scene descended into chaos and terror. Shots were fired. In a matter of moments, 4 lives were extinguished. Rachel and Tiffany, the girls who had shown Christine nothing but kindness and acceptance, lay among the victims, their trust catastrophically betrayed. After the unthinkable act, Christine and Snyder fled. But Christine's cold-bloodedness didn't end there. A short while later, consumed by the chilling thought that someone might have survived, she returned to the scene. Her purpose was singular and horrifying: to ensure there were no witnesses left to tell the tale. Less than an hour after committing this monstrous act, Christine clocked in for her shift at work, acting as if nothing had happened. When the bodies were discovered, a massive police investigation began. But with no immediate leads or suspects, the case went cold. The community was left in fear and confusion, with no answers as to who could have committed such a brutal crime. A year passed. Christine, seemingly struggling with her own demons, checked into a rehabilitation facility. It was there, in a moment of what might have been guilt or a twisted sense of pride, that she confided in another patient, revealing her role in the murders. After leaving rehab, she met a new man, got married, and attempted to build a normal life, burying her dark secret beneath a veneer of domesticity. For years, she managed to live a lie. But the past never stays buried forever. Years later, a local news station aired a report on the anniversary of the unsolved case, hoping to generate new leads. Seeing the story on TV sent Christine into a panic. The weight of her secret became too much to bear, and she confessed everything to her husband. But instead of turning her in, he made a fateful decision. He helped her run. They packed their lives into a car and became fugitives, living in hiding and constantly looking over their shoulders. Their life on the run wouldn't last. The person Christine had confessed to in rehab eventually came forward and reported the information to the police. This new lead was the break investigators needed. They began digging into financial records, meticulously tracing a path that eventually led them straight to Christine's hideout. She was arrested, her years of deception finally over. Her partner in crime, Snyder, had also fled but died before he could be brought to justice. Christine stood trial alone. The jury listened in horror as the details of her betrayal were laid bare. The story of the bullied girl who was saved by popular friends, only to turn on them in the most brutal way imaginable, was almost too shocking to believe. She was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to life in prison, where she remains today. This case serves as a chilling reminder of how a desperate desire for acceptance can curdle into something truly evil. It's a story not of transformation, but of a catastrophic moral failure. It shows how insecurity and poor choices can lead down a path of destruction, and how trust, once broken, can lead to the most devastating consequences. For innocent people lost their lives, not at the hands of a stranger, but by someone they had welcomed, protected, and called a friend. Thank you for watching.